A cold and snowy weather pattern will continue across the United States over the next 7 to 10 days, and this is also going to bring the potential for some record-breaking cold temperatures in parts of the country as we go into the early portion of this week. So in today's forecast, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know about the weather that'll be impacting the United States over the next 7 days. And let's begin with what's happening across the country this morning. And you'll notice right off the bat, things are actually relatively quiet for most of the country. We really only have just some minimal cloud cover. Yesterday, we actually had a little clipper system come through areas in the Ohio Valley and lower Midwest, which did bring snowfall to areas like Kansas City and St. Louis. Those areas saw between 2 to 4 inches of snow. That is now dying out, and so this is just going to fall apart as it moves into the Appalachian Mountains today. We also have lake effect snow that is continuing back over near areas like Lake Erie, near Orchard Park, by the way, which is where the Buffalo Bills are playing tonight, and there is a ton of snow on the ground there, and it continues to fall this morning. And then also back over in Watertown, New York, many of those areas are also picking up on some very heavy snowfall that is going to continue to accumulate. Over 2 to 3 feet of snow has already fallen in several areas, anywhere from New York all the way back into Ohio. One of the most notable things over the next several days in terms of the weather will be the continuation of cold weather for much of the United States, and this is all because we have a large cold air mass that is sitting back over on the east coast of the United States. However, we actually do have some warmer air that is now starting to build back over in the Great Plains and also on the west coast of the United States, and this weather pattern will continue, by the way, all week long. So anywhere from now all the way until Friday or Saturday, we are going to continue to see colder than normal weather anywhere east of the Great Plains, and then warmer than average weather back over in the western tier of the United States, so west of the Great Plains. And this is going to be a weather pattern that sticks around, I think, through the weekend, and then eventually things should start to warm back up again for much of the country, including areas up and down the east coast of the United States. So the temperatures from average over the next several days, and what I mean by average is your average temperature in your location, blues representing below average temperatures and reds indicating above average temperatures. And as we go throughout the next few days, the very below average temperatures will continue, again, anywhere from and just east of the Great Plains. This is where we could see some record-breaking low temperatures back over in areas like Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and maybe even Virginia as we go into both Monday and Tuesday morning. Things will start to warm back up again just a little bit as we go into Wednesday into Thursday, but look at this. Another shot of cold air will be moving right across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley as we go into Thursday of this week, and this could also bring the potential for some isolated areas seeing record-breaking low temperatures on Thursday or Friday. Eventually, as we go into next weekend, that cold weather is going to continue in the Northeast, and warmer than average weather will build across areas in the Great Plains and as well as the east coast of the United States, more than likely as we go into the following week, even though this is still over 7 days out, so there could be some changes to the forecast. Now, the actual temperatures as we go into Monday morning, it's going to be pretty cold for much of the country. That freezing line is going to be as far south as areas like central Alabama and as well as central Georgia. Here's what's a little bit more crazy. This doesn't happen very often, but as we go into Tuesday morning and maybe even into Wednesday morning, that freezing line could get as far south as areas like northern Florida. So something to watch for. We could see a freeze down here as far south as northern Florida as we go into either Tuesday or Wednesday morning. The European model currently indicating that Wednesday morning would be the morning to watch for, back over around and just west of Jacksonville near Tallahassee. So again, not something you see very often, at least in the month of December, at least at the beginning of December. As we go into Thursday into Friday, much colder weather returns to the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. As we wake up Friday morning, areas like Wisconsin could actually be below zero for actual temperatures, so it is going to be very cold. And eventually, as we go into next weekend, things will start to improve a little bit, I think, across most of the lower 48. Now, in terms of snowfall, rain, severe weather, what's happening over the next 7 to 10 days in terms of all of that? Well, let's break down the next few days, beginning with Monday into Tuesday. So for the time being, most of the country, again, pretty dry. We have high pressure dominating, a lot of sinking air, so not really looking at a whole lot of snowfall. The areas that will continue to see some snowfall will be back over here in the Great Lakes and also near Lake Erie, and as well as over near Watertown, New York, where we could continue to see some lake effect snow as we go closer to Tuesday into Wednesday. As we get closer to Wednesday, that is when we're going to see a clipper system come out of Canada. The exact intensity of this when it comes to snow is still a little uncertain. However, areas like the upper Midwest and as well as back through the Northeast should be watching this closely because it'll bring two things. One, which is going to be more impactful in my opinion, will be the much colder weather that's going to be behind this trough. But we're also going to see the potential for some light to moderate snowfall across areas like the Great Lakes and eventually into the Northeast as we go into Wednesday and as well as Thursday. So this will be our next winter winter weather event, maybe even winter storm. And eventually, as we go into late Thursday into Friday, that eventually moves out. High pressure builds again with drier weather, but also much colder weather. And then eventually, as we go into next weekend, things do become a bit more uncertain, but we will likely have some sort of other shot here for a winter weather event or even a winter storm. But since this is still about 7 days out, there could be some changes to the forecast, exactly where this trough is, and if it actually brings the potential for some snow, which I think it will. It's just, again, a matter of where it happens. And then eventually by the following week, things do become a little bit more uncertain, but again, we will likely continue to see many shots for snowfall, especially back over here in the northern plains, the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and as well as the Northeast. So in terms of snowfall for the next 7 days or so, let's kind of break that down for you a little bit. So this is what we definitely know at this point. We are going to continue to see heavy lake effect snow for the next several days in the upper peninsula of Michigan and as well as back through areas in New York. But here's the other thing we're going to be watching for. Another small clipper system will move through areas like Iowa and as well as back through Illinois and Kentucky and maybe even Tennessee as we go into early this week. We're going to talk more about this in detail in a moment, and as well as the lake effect snow, but that's something we'll be watching for over the next few days. Beyond this, as we go into next weekend, things again do become a lot more uncertain, but the GFS model does indicate that we will continue to see snowfall across areas in the northern plains, the upper Midwest, and also back through the Northeast. This is a little bit of an area that's a bit more of a wild card, areas like Illinois and southern Wisconsin, but I do think we are going to see some level of snow over the next about 10 days or so. So something still to watch for. Again, how much snow happens is still, again, very uncertain at this time. So lake effect snow will continue for the next 48 hours across areas in New York and as well as Ohio. Our heaviest band today will be focused across areas like Watertown, New York. That's the area that, again, I think the heaviest of the snowfall will be today. And eventually, as we go into later this afternoon into the evening, snow will continue back over near Orchard Park and back over to northwest Pennsylvania and northeast Ohio. Eventually, as we go into the overnight hours into Monday morning, lake effect snow dies down in Watertown, but we will continue to see lake effect snow coming off Lake Erie. However, I do think this will be a lot less consistent than what we've seen the last few days. A much smaller fetch, basically meaning there's a lot less water basically to be able to have lake effect snow over, so the wind direction out of the northwest not nearly as favorable here for lake effect snow, but it will still bring some lake effect snow. It'll just be a lot more inconsistent, meaning that the snowfall accumulation will not be nearly as significant as what we've seen already this weekend. So in terms of remaining snowfall for the next 48 hours, so through tomorrow night, we'll continue to see a lot of snow back over near Watertown. Many areas likely to pick up 25 to 40 inches of snow over the next 48 hours, and then back over here near Lake Erie. It really varies on where you are. Anywhere just east of Cleveland could see anywhere from nothing all the way up, maybe closer to 1 to 2 feet of snow, and then a jackpot total near 3 feet of snow is still going to remain a possibility. There will also be a little clipper system as we go into late Sunday into Monday across areas like Illinois, Missouri, Iowa. Eventually, as this moves down to the southeast, we could even see some snow flurries or light snow move into areas like Kentucky and Tennessee as we go into Monday morning. So again, this could actually go pretty far down to the south. We might even see this try to linger its way there into Georgia or maybe even into North or South Carolina as we go into Monday. So something to watch for. Now, will this bring 25 plus inches of snow? Definitely not, but it will bring some snow. I think there will be a chance here for at least some snowflakes out there, but we also could see a large area here with maybe around a dusting to a coating of snow and maybe an isolated location or two picking up upwards of an inch or two of snowfall. But this is nothing like what we just saw with the snow event that just happened in Kansas City and Missouri, where many areas picked up well over 2 to 3 inches of snowfall, which some areas like Kansas City weren't really expecting much snowfall to begin with. And as a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We'll continue to keep you posted with the latest on the winter weather season as it continues to ramp up. I also want to give you a reminder that at shopmaxvelocity.net, we have our Cyber Monday sale, $5 off $50 or more with code Cyber Monday. We have 4 different collections that you can pick up for a gift or maybe even a present, including our Happy Holidays t-shirt, including our Flying Trampoline merch, and as well as our Drunk NATO merch, and also the Max Velocity collection. All of this is available with the top link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe if you've not already.